Well, hello there, ladies and gents. I'm Tammy Sapnewski, your crypto queen. Thank you so much for popping by my channel. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm only here to entertain you and to remind you to only buy on those red candles. Okay, well, today we got some news from Saitama that yet again they're going to be kicking the can down the road when it comes to doing the launch of the V2. This is what they wrote. Hello, Wolfpack. We are taking it carefully all the necessary steps for the migration. Thus, our token migration will be finished by end of day on June 7th. Now, you may recall in their AMA that they did almost a week ago that they said the V2 was going to launch within a week. So already they're breaking promises, kicking cans down the road. Do I think the V2 is going to happen? I do. I do think the V2 is going to happen. And what do I think is going to happen when the V2 launches? I think it will pump. It will pump. So if you've lost money in Saitama, keep an eye on the chart. And when you feel you're making a little bit of your money back, that's when I would sell. I don't think anything new is going to happen with Saitama 2.0. I think it's going to be more of the same song and dance that we got with version 1. It's just going to be Russ rebooting his whole narrative about how they're going to have all of this utility. And listen, it would be great if Saitama did pull their stuff together and have actual utility. That's what I hope does happen. I do. I hope it does happen because I would like for a lot of the investors to make their money back, or at least to break even, or hey, maybe even be a little profitable. That would be nice. Oh, so what are some of the things that some of the Degen plays? Well, today I found out about something called Komainu. Have you guys heard of that one? I just found out about it today, and this was actually messaged to me on Twitter. And listen, I'm not telling you to buy into this, but, could be a cool little degen play to make a little bit of money on if you're interested. This thing just launched, and it has an interesting story. The person that messaged me said that, it could be somebody having to do with Shiba Inu. It's funny that all of this is going on with Ryoshi and everything. So he figured, hey, this could be one of those guys. And you know what? I don't think it is. I think this is going to be one of those tokens that is a quick degen play. You get in, you can make a little bit of money and get out. Just keep your eye on it, okay? Just keep watching. Even if you don't buy it, just keep your eye on it. We also learned today that Shinobi is going to be launching on the Binance Smart Chain. Now, they're hoping to launch on June the 16th. You can get into the pre-sale if you own Shinobi on certain dates. They took a snapshot of all of the holders of ERC20, and you can get a whitelist position. They do, if you're going to participate in the pre-launch, there is a minimum of 1 BNB and a maximum of 2 BNB. Now that's per wallet. So if you have 5 different wallets, you'll be able to get 10 BNB worth of the new Shinja if that's what you're, if you want to do it. I'd like to, go ahead and buy some on the Binance Smart Chain. What does this mean when a token launches from ERC20 and on the Binance Smart Chain? Look what happened with Vault, okay? Do you remember when Vault, they were just on Ethereum? They were doing okay. They were chugging along. But then somebody reached out to Pablo Crow and the devs, Vaultoshi, and said, it would be really great if you guys could launch over on Binance, because it would allow for a lot of people in different countries, different continents that maybe, can't afford the gas fees on Uniswap to be able to purchase into the token on the Binance Smart Chain. The fees are very nominal over there, and this would expand the holder base. So that's exactly what they did. They launched on BSC, and look what happened. They had explosive growth when it came to their holder count that made the price pump. So we can see some we have the potential of seeing some similar action going to happen with Shibnobi. So that's actually very exciting. Now, speaking of Vault, we know that Elon Goat Token is going to be having that statue travel across the country and getting a lot of eyes on it. But here's the funny thing. They were actually on Fox News today talking about it. And we know that Volt is going to be a part of the Elon Goat Token as well. So as that monument is traveling around the country, not only is it going to showcase Elon Goat Token, but it's also going to showcase Volt. So we can see our price pump on Volt for that. Volt Inu, Shibnobi, ShibaDoge sooner will take off. Well, let's all hope, okay? Hey, Tommy. Tommy says, relaxing with you and some barbecue. We'll enjoy it. I hope everybody had a nice holiday weekend. Oh, boy. Right? Those holiday weekends are so nice. It's so nice to have that Monday off, I tell you. It just makes the week a little easier to start on a Tuesday, right? So as I was talking about before, this Komainu right now, let me bring up the DEX tools here. It has only 51 holders, as you can see. It launched today, just like a few hours ago. And, you know, there's a potential there of making some money. I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm not telling you to do that. But I'm saying there is a potential to make some money here. And I do like the narrative that they're putting out. You know, they kind of put some of the influencers on blast talking about, well, let me go back to their Twitter page. This is what they said about influencers, that they feel that people are getting paid to make videos, and that's BS, that they should just go ahead if they believe in a token to promote it for free. Look, a lot of the people did originally with Shiba Inu, right? That they had people making videos for free, and because so many people were making videos on Shiba Inu that they got a lot of subscribers from it. They got the token to pump, and everybody made money. They built a nice community, and look, at the community is still strong with Shiba Inu. So that's what Komainu is looking to do. They want to grow a community, and they want to do it organically. They're not going to be paying for any influencers. They're not going to be paying for any videos. And they also listed the contract address on their Twitter. So if you're interested in getting into Komainu, go ahead and do that. Let's see. Now, they also, the guy that messaged me, he also sent me this kind of post that somebody made. Hello, my name is Ryan. I don't know if this is the guy that messaged me. I'm just an ordinary investor, just like everyone reading this. I'm glad you stopped by and took the time out of your day to read this. So let's begin. I am the founder of Komainu. The amazing thing is that it already has Inu in its name too. I didn't have to add it to be cool. After taking a recent journey to Japan, I had the idea for this project. It amazed me, the story and the culture behind Komainu, which is half dog, half lion. They are found at the entrance to places of worship to protect the Buddhists. I love the history behind them, and it made me think of crypto space and how it's turning more centralized and not the true meaning of crypto. I decided to try out Komainu. People scream utility, but they forget what the best part of utility of the space is. It's called decentralized blockchain technology. Right, so that's the whole thing. And here's one of the Komainus right here protecting the Buddhist temple. And he basically goes on to say that, you know, YouTubers suck, influencers suck. They shouldn't be looking for money to make videos. They should just get behind a project because they want that project to not only survive, but thrive, do well, make people money. They know everything about crypto when they just get rich and did videos on Shiba Inu for free. The new influencers just follow in the steps of the other ones. So let's get back to our original roots. Let's go Komainu. So we'll have to see how that Komainu actually works out. I did put it through Token Sniffer. I was like, wait a minute, you know, this could be a little too good to be true. Let's put it through Token Sniffer and see exactly what it says. And it says, 0 out of 100. So what does that tell you? That, you know, It's not a honeypot. When I use Token Sniffer, that's basically the only thing that I'm looking for to ensure that it's not actually a honeypot, and that's not a honeypot. But you can't really, get too much more out of Token Sniffer, right? So, what's up, Maddie B? Maddie B says, I hate when projects compare themselves to Shib. I know. This person says, Saitama should add a 0 soon. Oof. I hope not. I hope it loses a 0. Because listen, I don't want anyone to lose money on Saitama. I really don't. Speaking of Saitama, I want everyone to know this. There is a fake Saitama 2.0 that has already launched. Excuse me. That has already launched, and people are buying into it. They're like spending a lot of money on it. So let me share this tab. Let me pull it up. There's like over 800 holders already in the fake Saitama 2.0. There's over $80,000 in liquidity. And it's so sad because people are just, here it is. Saitama 2.0. I mean, this is crazy. People know that oops, I didn't share my screen. Hold on. I'll fix that right now. Here it is. Saitama 2.0, and look here's the chart already. It launched a few days ago. It has over 800 holders, and it has over $80,000 in liquidity. So what does that say to you? That it's BS, right? We know that V2 hasn't launched yet. This is definitely not Saitama 2.0. I put a message out on Twitter for the Wolfpack, even though I know they don't like me. They really hate me. But I just wanted them to know to be careful, that I didn't want them to be taken in by this fake Saitama. I don't want anyone to lose money. Everybody that's here watching right now, I want everyone to be profitable in cryptocurrency. Now is a difficult time in the market. The market is down. A lot of my favorite projects have taken a massive beating, including one that's here right now, Keith from CoinViewCap. His token's taken a beating right now, but I think when the market rebounds, a lot of these tokens that I'm hodling right now are going to come raging back, like CoinViewCap, like the Archie token. Speaking of Archie, they are running a special right now where if you buy 0.1 ETH of their Archie Nico token, you get a free NFT. And the great thing about their NFTs, they're going to have actual utility within their metaverse. So, 0.1 ETH, it's not that much money, and get yourself a free NFT. Yeah, I know it's delayed to the 7th. Well, they said end of day 7th, but honestly, if they've put out that date, the 7th, it makes me feel like the 7th is not even going to happen. Because remember what they said in their AMA, that it was going to launch within a week. Now, that was over a week ago that they did that AMA. And originally, they had said that, the airdrops, everything, it's going to take about 12 to 24 hours to airdrop the holders their tokens. There's, supposedly over 300,000 holders in Saitama. I don't know how they plan on doing that. I think they should hire a company like Everrise, like Voltinu did, to handle the migration. I don't know who's handling their migration. Now, all of a sudden, a few days later, they're like, okay, well, it's going to take 24 to 48 hours to do the migration. But still, it's going to be within a week. And I'm thinking to myself, if they don't even have their audit back yet, how can they possibly know when they're going to launch the token? What if their audit comes back with problems? They're going to have to fix the smart contract and resubmit it for a new audit, right? That would be the right thing to do. But they said they got their audit back and that it was good. Next step is going to be a CERTIC audit. So I'm thinking to myself, why didn't they just do the CERTIC audit to begin with? A CERTIC audit is like $30,000. Don't tell me that Saitama doesn't have the $30,000 to lay out for the CERTIC audit, which is the gold standard when it comes to audits. Why didn't they just do CERTIC right off the bat? Only they can answer that. Only they can. Hi, Sherry. Thank you so much for popping by. Okay. Now, I talked about Volt. I talked about Elon Goat Token and, how they were on Fox News, which was pretty exciting because a lot of eyes are on Fox Business. But listen, how many of those people are actually into cryptocurrency? This even had the potential of bringing some people into cryptocurrency. Anytime that we can explain to people the benefits of cryptocurrency, the more people are going to get into it. It's just going to expand the base, and the better off we're all going to be. Another one is ShibaDogePredator. Let me go ahead and pull up their Twitter. And I actually said to one of the guys today, I'm like, why haven't you guys been more active on Twitter? I really wish they would be a little more active on Twitter. I was on one of their, not live streams, but one of their spaces that they have on Twitter. And the founders of this Shiba Doge token, they were early investors into Shiba Inu, and they wanted to make their own token. They're growing organically. They're just using word of mouth right now. They did do an AMA on a YouTuber's channel where they did dox themselves, so that was good. This is another one that is going to be like a Degen play. I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm just telling you, if you're interested in keeping your eyes on different plays that might have the potential of making some money, definitely that Komainu and this ShibaDogePredator, I think has the potential, because both of these tokens, it is still very, very early in. So guys, do you think you're going to be getting into the launch on BSC for Shinja? How long am I going to be on for tonight? You know what? You never know. You never know with my live streams how long I'm going to be on. It depends on if I feel like grabbing a cigarette. Sometimes I have to abort early because I have that urge where I got to smoke. So I run out to smoke, but, probably like a half an hour. Not too long. Not too long. I just wanted to get some news out there when it came to this Komainu. Whenever I see I don't know if it's just me or maybe some other YouTubers feel this too. Whenever I see a project that bashes YouTubers for, number one, taking money or asking for money for AMAs, I feel compelled to either make a tweet about them or make a video about them just to say, I don't do that kind of stuff. That's not why I'm doing the live stream tonight. I'm doing that because I'm calling it a Degen play. Where this token will go, I don't know. Right now it has like 51 holders. We'll have to see where it goes. It launched today. There is a lot of rumors about that token, so that's one of the reasons that I wanted to talk about it, to see if it's going to go anywhere. Thank you so much for dropping by. I really appreciate you. Yeah, you guys know I've kind of fallen off the radar because I've been having to travel down to Florida recently. My dad has cancer again. This is his fourth cancer from Agent Orange that he was exposed to when he served in Vietnam. And the guy led a good, clean life. He didn't drink. He didn't smoke. He was always in peak physical condition. And now he's getting all these cancers. And the doctors have all said it's because of your exposure to Agent Orange. So, it makes me angry that this has happened, because I'm terrified that my dad is going to die of this cancer that he should never have been exposed to. This never should have happened to him. And I'm a little freaked out because my mom passed away almost 2 years ago. So if my dad dies, I'll be an orphan. I'm too young to be an orphan. I'm going to be an orphan. And so I hope that doesn't. But that's why I've been absent. I've just been too busy to, pay attention to cryptocurrency, even to Twitter, and making YouTube videos was completely out of the question. It's just too much to set up and take care of and prep for. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to take a step back and I'll get to it when I get to it. So what's up with all you guys? How have you been? Thank you very much. I do appreciate that because, I am super worried. And Maddie says, I need to quit smoking. I know, right? Like my dad has cancer and here I am smoking. But that's the thing. Like I stress smoke. I don't drink. So Thank you very much. I appreciate all of the well wishes for my father. I really do. I don't drink. Like smoking, I feel like is my one crutch. It's the one thing that I do. I don't smoke that much. I smoke about, on a bad day, I'll smoke about a half a pack of cigarettes. And on a good day, I'll have like one or two, really. So is anyone else pumped for Shinja going on the Binance Smart Chain? Here's why I'm happy about it. When it comes to their launch on the Binance Smart Chain, they're handling it the way they should have handled their launch onto ERC20. They're making maximum buys for people. This way it's going to be a fail-safe when it comes to whale activity. You don't want to have those huge dumps like we had on the ERC20 token. Like we were getting dumped on by the pre-salers. They were killing us. Just when we were pumping up there, you had these assholes dumping on us and seriously hurting the chart and the token itself. So that hopefully by them doing the max buy of 2 BNB per wallet address, this will kind of prevent that. We have to hope that that's going to happen, right? Because we don't want to have that happen again. So I think by doing that, they're going to protect the holders, and they're going to be bringing in a whole bunch of new holders, people from around the world that can't afford to pay those astronomical gas fees that are on Uniswap. I mean, not today, like early Tuesday morning, but Monday during the day, because the market did bounce back a little bit, freaking gas fees were really high. Like if you wanted to buy $100 worth of, I don't know, let's say that Komainu today, you'd have to pay about $100 in gas fees. Now, when the market was seriously tanking, which don't get me wrong, it still is tanking, it's a lot of money. This way, people that live in the continent of Africa, some of the poorer countries, if they can buy on the Binance Smart Chain and pay just a little bit of fees, the fees over there are very nominal. I think it really will help to grow the holder count, and that will make the chart go up. And I think dual chain, all the different tokens should be dual chain. I don't know why half of these tokens actually launch on Ethereum. I really don't, because it's so expensive. It is prohibitive for some people to invest in this. It just really is. Okay, now, what do I think about, this is one of the big questions that I was getting on Twitter today. What do I think about Luna as opposed to Luna Classic? So with Luna 2.0, that did pump today. Luna Classic pumped today. What's going on there? Personally, I think that, let me see if I can bring some charts up here. One of the reasons that I think Luna Classic pumped today, we'll bring up Luna 2.0 first. We heard news of a Binance listing, right? So when you hear news of a Binance listing, and I never know which one to go to here. Is this it? You get excited. This might be, no, this can't be it. You get excited. You're like, yay. I'll just get rid of that. I don't want anyone to see that. I don't want anyone to think that that's the chart. Things pump, things move, but it's only Luna 2.0 that's actually going to be listed on Binance. And it's not going to be on the traditional exchange. It's going to be listed on a particular part of Binance that they designate for their more volatile tokens and projects. In order to participate on that particular exchange, you have to go through their terms of use and like sign kind of a waiver that you understand that you might absolutely lose everything. But it's only 2.0. I think there's a chance that Luna Classic pumped today because, a lot of people are not savvy investors and they don't understand that it's not going to be Luna Classic, that it's going to be 2.0. So personally, I think that's why Luna Classic pumped. I think people thought that it was going to be this particular token, and it's not. Now, what do I think about Luna 2.0? This can't be it either. Like, it's like near impossible to just hit in a ticker symbol and come up with the right thing on DEX tools. I am so it's aggravating. It's aggravating how aggravating DEX tools has become. If you're investing in Luna 2.0, you're basically investing your money into Do Kwon. That's what you're doing. You're saying that you have confidence in Do Kwon. Why do you want to have confidence in Do Kwon? This guy had a stable coin that was $1 and it ran it down to 2 cents. That's the guy you want to invest money in? I think that's a huge mistake. I really do. Now, of course, we know that the stable coin of the Luna ecosystem was not backed by the US dollar. It wasn't pegged to the dollar, but it was an algorithmic stable coin. The only thing that kept this thing stable was the actions within the smart contract. You know, there was a burn function and a mint function, and that's what basically kept that stable at $1. How it can be stable at $1, you know, when there's so much going on with their APYs being crazy, 20%, you know, there was an exploit and that thing went crashing down. I saw such a sad story today, man. This guy leveraged himself to the hilt to invest in Luna. He ran up credit cards because he's like, you know what? If I stake the token and I'm getting 20% APY, I'm paying, you know, 0% interest so far on this credit card. When it comes the time to pay this thing off, you know, I'll just, you know, take my staking out and I'll just pay that off and I'll be in all this profit. That's why we always say never invest more than you can afford to lose. You know, don't put your bill money in there. Don't ring up credit cards that you can put it into cryptocurrency. It's not going to end well. But you know what people think? Well, it's a stable coin. So how is this not a safe bet? Because it's a stable coin, it's got to be a safe bet, right? But we know that there are a few different types of stable coins. Of course, we have the stable coins that, like Tether, literally tethered to the US dollar. It's backed by a US dollar, one for $1. Then there's other stable coins that are algorithmic stable coins. There's crypto stable coins that, you know, their value is pegged to a cryptocurrency that has greater value than their own. But, you know, hopefully everyone has learned that if you're using an algorithmic stable coin, it can be exploited and you need to be very, very careful. And that's exactly what happened with freaking Luna. So Terra Luna, you know, if you're buying into 2.0, you should know that you are buying into Do Kwon. This is my personal belief. I think that the exploit happened with his stablecoin because he personally pissed off a group of millionaires and billionaires. He poked fun at them because they're millionaires, basically calling them poor for not being billionaires. They all got together and screwed over Do Kwon, but they didn't just screw him over. Every single person that was invested in that project, they took the big hit. Now, don't forget, you know, the last time I looked, 2.0 was at, I think it was at $9. That's crazy. Why would you want to take that kind of chance? And a lot of people said to me, one person responded to me on Twitter, well, Tammy, because it was once a top 10 coin. You know, it was even a top 5 at one point. It was right behind Twitter. Why wouldn't we pay $10 for something when at its all-time high was over $100? It's a pretty good bet. And I'm like, no, because right now it has zero utility. There's no utility. That stable coin is gone. Now, I know there's rumors that Do Kwon is going to want to start a new stable coin with Terra 2.0, or I should say Luna 2.0, but you're betting on him. Is it worth your money to bet? And I said this earlier, if you're wanting to do like a risky gamble, almost like a lottery ticket kind of buy, your better bet is to invest in Luna Classic, and their ticker is LUNC. So I held some Luna Classic over on crypto.com, but they suspended Luna. You can't do anything over there on crypto.com with Luna. You can't buy it. You can't sell it. You can't even transfer it out. It's like you don't even own it. Like it's sitting there in your wallet, but if you can't transfer it out to a wallet, what good is it? It's no good. Bobby Crypto Granny is in the house. Yep, that's exactly what it is, right? A scratch off vibe, totally. So that's, I'm sure you guys heard the sad stories too. People just basically go, these are people that don't normally make videos for YouTube, but they're all part of the lunatic family. That's what the Luna holders were called, lunatics. They all went on there and told their so sad story about how they were millionaires one day and they woke up broke the next day. One of the main reasons why a lot of them lost even more money, because when the price was coming down so rapidly and precipitously, they were trying to play it safe, play it cool in DCA. So they kept adding to their positions. When you see a stable coin has left $1 and is going downtown, know that something has gone terribly wrong. You don't think you're getting yourself a buy with a stable coin if you see it at 80 cents. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, people do arbitrage all the time. This is an opportunity to get something that you can then sell at a higher price, maybe on a different platform or a wallet. But a stable coin should never drop 20% if everything is okay with that stable coin. But that's what people did. They kept, buying the dip, buying the dip, buying the dip until finally Luna was sub pennies. I mean, all of those people, it was so sad. It actually was very, very sad to see a lot of the stories. There's even rumors that I don't know of anybody that actually did hurt themselves, but there was a few people that made videos that said they know people who indeed did hurt themselves because they couldn't bear to tell their spouses that they lost everything. Everything that we had saved up years for, our whole retirement, it's gone now. They felt pretty confident in staking their tokens because they were getting 20% return on a stable coin, which is really good. And one of the people that did the exploit on the stable coin realized that there was billions of dollars basically staked with the stable coin. But if you looked at the liquidity, it wasn't even $1 billion. It was like $600 million. So they're thinking to themselves, what's going on here? Like something is not right. Something is not adding up. So then they decided to exploit it. They dumped, I think, 300 million. They waited a little longer and then dumped another 300 million. And that was the end of that. So knowing that happened, knowing that, I think, when it comes to it, it's the captain of the ship that is always or should always be held accountable, right? That's Do Kwon when it comes to Terra Luna. That's him. Why are you trusting him with your new money going in? Now, when you think, yeah, Terra Luna, it was one of the top 10 cryptocurrencies. We're talking billions and billions of dollars in that particular coin that has now left the building. It's now gone and out of the market. Like that, basically, all that value left the market cap of cryptocurrency itself. Kind of like the financial crash of 2007 and 8 in the United States, when the market came tumbling down, it exposed a lot of the projects or people who were not good, like Bernie Madoff, right? He was exposed. There was no way for him to continue to be paying people out their money, their dividends, because he wasn't getting new investors in, and the market went down so rapidly and suddenly, like it exposed him. This crash in cryptocurrency, I shouldn't call it a crash. We're just going to call it a market downtrend, I think is a better way to say it. The market downtrend is exposing a lot of different projects. People are getting out of them. If they haven't been profitable or if they feel like they don't have true utility and a future, people are just selling them and getting rid of them. Even if they have 50 50, 60 bucks worth of something. They're watching the gas fees. If they can sell that and not, lose money with the gas, they're getting rid of a lot of the crap in their wallet. They're like being very careful when it comes to things that they're investing in. So you should do the same. Now, when it comes to, I always call it my lottery ticket buys. I do have lottery ticket buys that I get, that I take gambles on. Like, Bobby Crypto Granny said, consider it like a scratch off. You're going to pay like 10, 20, 30, 50 bucks for scratch offs, even 100. I've spent over hundreds for scratch offs at any one given time. I might as well gamble into cryptocurrency where I have the potential, the better potential of some kind of payoff, right? If you're looking to get into things like that, that's okay, but understand that you may walk away with money or nothing. There's not going to be any in between with Degen plays. You're either going to make some money on a Degen play or you're going to lose everything. And that's what you have to consider. But in this market downtrend, what I'm really trying to do is just add to the positions of the tokens that I have a lot of faith in, that I think have utility right now, or that I know are going to have utility in the very near or close to near future. The blue chip things like crypto.com, I have been adding to my position every day on the Crow coin, because I think the future for the crypto.com native token, the Kronos, is very, very bright. And it was a steal today at 18 cents. So anytime it's down there, I'm just adding to my position every single day. Other tokens that I think have a bright future, of course, anytime that you can buy Ethereum at this low level is good. Bitcoin at this low level is good. ADA at this low level is good. I also like Zcash at this low level. Gala, Engine, Litecoin, Matic, AVAX, XRP, Phantom. All of these, I think you should consider blue chip tokens that are very, very down right now. This is a good time to add to those blue chip tokens while their price is crap right now, and just understand it's going to come back. It may take a little bit, but it's going to come back. Now, I'm not gambling so much on tokens like Saitama. Of course, I'm not buying Saitama. Not buying that. But any other tokens that, weird tokens, like my Project Phoenix, I like that token, but I'm not adding to my position in Project Phoenix right now. I have added to my position in Terrarium. If I can get into the pre-sale of Shibnobi, because they said, hey, if you're an influencer and you make a video talking about the launch, you'll get a whitelist slot and you can give away a few whitelist slots. So I'm like, hey, well, I'll make a video. This way I'll be getting a slot and I can give a couple slots away to you guys as well, if you're interested in getting into the pre-launch of Shibnobi over on the Binance Smart Chain. Because as we know, the best way to make money in cryptocurrency is to get into these pre-launches. The minute you see a green candle, you're already in profit. You're already going to be in profit. And for those of you that don't know, the pre-sale is going to start June 6th. And the official launch on the Binance Smart Chain, market, of course, permitting, market conditions permitting, is tentatively going to be on June the 13th. I said Phantom. Do you not like Phantom? I like Phantom. I didn't like Phantom at $2, but I like Phantom down here. Oh, Maddie B says Kronos is disappointing, got a bad feeling. Maddie, really? Even though the whole market is like this, you got a bad feeling with crypto.com? I don't. I think it's a good place to add. I do. I don't have that same feeling that you have. Shadow. No, I haven't heard about Shadow. What is that? Is that a new project? Did I already discuss Saitama? Only the fact that they've already kicked the can down the road when it comes to doing the launch of the V2. So if you remember in their AMA that they had over a week ago, Russ said that the launch of the V2 was going to be within a week. Well, it's already been a week and there's no launch. Today on Twitter, we saw that they said, okay, well, hey, in order to do everything right, we are going to make sure that, everything is in its place, and be on the lookout now for your airdrops, and all of that should take place by end of day, next week. Let me get to where they said that. Am I sharing my screen again? Nope, of course not. Hello, Wolfpack. We are taking it carefully. I don't even know if that's exactly worded properly. We are taking it carefully. All the necessary steps for the migration, thus our token migration, will be finished by end of day on June the 7th. So they've already kicked the can down the road. What did I tell you was going to happen? This is just going to be a reboot of all of Saitama's BS narrative. They're going to continually miss deadlines, and you just know if they're handling this migration themselves that this thing is going to get so botched, it's not even going to be funny. Listen, they can't do the migration. They simply cannot trust themselves to do the migration, and they should know that. If they're going to do a migration, which I think it is going to happen, I think the migration will happen, but I think they should hire somebody like Everrise to do it. I don't think these guys can be trusted. No, I know they can't be trusted, okay? Also be careful because there is a phony Saitama V2, 2.0, that has already launched. You can see the chart on Dex Tools. It launched a few days ago. You guys, it has over $80,000 in liquidity and over 800 holders. That's 800 people that got suckered in to buying a token that's completely worthless. It's a honeypot, or maybe they can sell it, but it's not Saitama. Saitama did post the new contract address saying, okay, this is going to be it, if you want to check it out, But no, I don't think it's... Oh, you're so funny. Is Saitamask Pro launching with the migration? Yeah, you're funny, right? I don't think so. And you know what? For all the times that they really propped up Max Hernandez, Max Equation, saying what a great coder he is, this guy's wonderful, he's doing a great job with Saitamask, and they got rid of his ass. Right, he's gone. He's got nothing to do with Saitamask Pro. They got rid of him. Now that I, look back on everything that we found out from Steve Rocket Crypto when he leaked that information to Rodney at My Crypto Journeys, talking about they outsourced the coding of Saitamask, and the guy that did the coding didn't trust them to pay him, so he left a backdoor exploit into the app. Just in case they didn't pay him, he could go in there and mess up the app. And it seemed like they never could get that app to work. No matter what they did, they never really could get the app to work. So I have to wonder if indeed that story is like 100% true, and that's why they're having to launch Saitamask Pro, because Saitamask is completely hopeless. They had to basically start from scratch. So this is personally what I think. I have no evidence to back this up. This is just my gut feeling. I think when they realized months ago that Saitamask, they can't fix it. They don't know what to do. They immediately started work on Saitamask Pro. They're like, we need to start from scratch. We have to hire all new people and just get on this and just, start working on this. We're not going to tell anybody about this. It's going to be a secret, and we'll launch it and we'll call it Saitamask Pro. It'll be a huge surprise, and hopefully we'll get this to work. So I actually believe all that story now. I have no way to prove any of that. That's just what I think. But don't you think it makes sense that Steve Rocket Crypto said that to Rodney and everything happened? They couldn't get Saitamask to work, right? And now Saitamask Pro? So Max Equation is gone. There'll be, who knows when Saitama Pro is going to be released? We don't know. I do think, and also, of course, Saitama is completely rebranding. They rebranded their logo. You know, they've taken the meme out of the equation, or so they say. Just because you say, hey, we're not a meme coin anymore, doesn't mean you're not a meme coin. Just because you redid your logo doesn't mean you're not a meme coin. Your token is still named after a fictional anime person of a little boy dressed up in a wolf costume. That's what Saitama is. So you can change your logo all you want. The meme elements are still there. You still haven't updated your website. You know, these are little things that you should do. If you're going to completely rebrand, you need to really start with that website. Like, do your website first, right? I'm just saying, it doesn't take that much money to update your website. You know, a few $1,000s can get the job done. You know, their website, it's not great to begin with. That thing hasn't been updated in probably a year, their main website. Why don't they just hire someone and get it done? If you're truly rebranding, that's part of rebranding. You release all of your social media platforms all at once. They all have the same consistent logo. They have the same colors, you know, all of the same little taglines that you, none of that is done, right? They did release a new video on their YouTube channel, and, you know, it's just basically a collage of people counting money, hugging one another, walking hand in hand, and how Saitama has a bright future and it's going to have all of these utilities. You know, it's the same thing they said last year. It's the same exact story they said last year, except for now with the new logo and colors, they get to hit reboot on their clock. It's like their egg timer ran out or is about to run out, and they just grab the little dial and they click, 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 turn it all the way back. That's all they've done. That's all they've done. Do I think Saitama V2 is going to pump? I do. I think anything in this climate, when it launches, is going to pump. I do. If you do get airdrop some tokens, be mindful of the day and time of launch. Keep your eye on the chart. The minute that you think you're making some of your money back, you know, after a few big green candles, people are going to start to dump out. People want out of Saitama. They don't want to take this massive of a hit. So they're hoping that with the launch of V2, that they'll at least get some of their money back. So, you know, I'm thinking that Saitama has the potential of pumping 150% on day of launch. If that happens, take your money and run, because I have no doubt, to me, I believe that the devs are going to continue to dump. Look how many people, you know, went through Etherscan, and found the developer wallets. And what did they find? Russ was selling tokens every 4 hours. Every 4 hours, this guy was going into Uniswap and dumping tokens, thousands of dollars at a time, dumping them, all the while telling you he's not dumping the tokens. As a matter of fact, he's buying the dips, and he encourages you to buy the dips. So they're dumping and telling you to buy. Do you think there's going to be anything different with the V2? Sherry says, yes, Tammy, I think you're right. Take your money and run. So right, Sherry. Sherry, you are so right. And of course, we know Sherry. If you don't follow Sherry on Twitter, she is it at Crypto Market Buzz on Twitter? I think so. She does a lot of marketing for the Archie Nico token. And Archie Nico is another one of those tokens that, for me, you know, I am going to be hodling this token. I went ahead and, well, let me share this screen and let me pull up their chart. I staked my tokens. I did a 30-day stake with my tokens at a 72% APY. Now, the 30-day timeline ran out, right? Normally, with other cryptocurrencies, when your staking period runs out, you stop collecting. You don't get any more money. Like you maxed out on the 30th day. I forgot about the tokens that I had staked over there. Even though it's over the 30-day time limit, they're still accumulating tokens at that 72% APY. So I'm like, I'm just going to leave it in there. Why wouldn't I? I don't have to restake. I don't have to do another mine or, no, what's it called? I don't have to activate the staking again, right? Like I'm just leaving it in there. I'm continuing to get that 72% APY, and I'm just going to pay the one fee to unstake whenever it is that I'm going to be ready to, maybe take some profits with Archie Nico token. But this is their chart right now, and they are running a promotional right now. If you buy 0.1 ETH worth of the Archie Nico token, you're going to get a free NFT. And the thing about their NFTs is they're going to be able to have utility in the metaverse, which is great. There's some people that sell NFTs. They're just rusty old jaggedy JPEGs. No value whatsoever. They're just JPEGs. You're kind of hoping that maybe that NFT collection will catch on and maybe you'll make some profit with them. A lot of these projects, that's not going to happen, right? They're just rankedy old JPEGs. Nothing's ever going to happen with them except they're going to sit in your wallet and collect dust. Well, the NFTs for Archie Nico, you're going to be able to use them in the metaverse. Let's say you get an Archie Nico NFT, which is, I think a cat is their NFT. And let's say your particular cat has like a bus driver uniform. You're going to get money from the bus line. Or if your NFT has the uniform of a bank teller, you're going to be able to get some money from whatever revenues are generated over at their bank. So I think it's, if you like that project and you don't mind hanging out, waiting for the end payoff, this could be one of those projects that you want to invest in with the understanding that, okay, the utility is coming. They're going to make their own blockchain. They're getting into the metaverse. They're also getting into real estate. Not only real estate in the metaverse, but real estate in real world, right? Real estate. And I said to JP, who's the main dev, I'm like, how are you going to do that? Like, I was always puzzled. How are you going to take a profit from a house and equate those profits to people that hold a cryptocurrency? Like, how does that work? How does that even happen? And one of the things that you can do is whenever, let's say someone buys a house, or maybe they rent it out or they flip it, and you get $50,000 profit from this particular location that the holders are a part of. What you would then do is buy $50,000 worth of the Archie Nico token and burn it. Do a buyback and burn. And that would inflate the cost of the tokens that you hold, right? People can say they burn tokens all day. Hey, we've burned this much of the supply. That much of the supply is, out of circulation. So yay, yes. A burn does nothing unless the coins that are in the burn wallet are backed by liquidity. It means nothing, right? So that's why it's important to do a buyback in burn. This way, you've paid liquidity for those tokens, and then you put them in the burn wallet. Burning means nothing. Sherry is saying JP's got a plan, a well thought out plan. Yes, he definitely does. And that's one of the reasons why, listen, Archie, like the rest of the cryptocurrency market, has taken a hit, right? It went down, looks a little shaky, right? You're like, oh no, it's kind of down. But we have found an area of support and an area of accumulation. So I'm confident with just hodling my tokens here, looking forward to a bright future, and that's all you can do, right? All of those tokens, like I'm saying, any of the other tokens that I wouldn't consider my long-term investments or the blue chip tokens, I was adding to everything. I was dollar cost averaging on like every single thing that I had on all these different exchanges. I'm like, oh, it's going to pay off. It's going to pay off. And whoa, I really had to pump the brakes. And I said this months ago, you know what, when it comes to certain investments, instead of, dollar cost averaging all the time, I'm starting to pump the brakes on buying the dips. And after I said that, it seems like every other person that is like in my circle, everybody's like, pump the brakes, pump the brakes. It's time to pump the brakes and only invest into the tokens that you believe have a bright future, that are going to make you investments in the long run. And I went through the list before, but Archie Nico happens to be one of those cryptocurrencies for me. Hold on, Maddie. Metaverse stuff is still years away from mass adoption. I hear you. Totally, totally, totally. I know it. Tammy, what's your opinion on utility? Do you think an investment needs utility to be profitable? Yes. I do. I mean, there are certain projects that were way profitable before they had utility, but you need to have that promise of utility to maintain the holder count, right? Like we know Shiba had no utility when it launched, and it kind of just sat there for the longest time. Then it started to gain traction. The community came, they started to get a ton of holders. Now they have Shiba Swap and Bone and like they have all of this stuff going, but at a time there was nothing. But you have to have the promise of something, because if you don't, what are you saying? Just hold this and hope that, everybody else is going to hold with us? People aren't going to do that. People hold something for a long period of time, like I am with Archie, like I am with Terrarium, because I know this utility is coming down the pipe. But I'm not going to hold a token for 4 or 5 months if they're like, yeah, we're just here as a community. We're strictly a community token, and our holders are our utility. That's, our community is the utility. That's bullshit. No, because you know what? Cryptocurrency will always be a world of, what have you done for me lately? And if people are sitting there, they're seeing no action in the token, they're going to sell out and they're going to move over to something that does have the promise of utility. So something doesn't have to have utility right now, but it does have to have the promise of utility in the future. I don't like those projects that are like, our utility, it's you guys. It's our holders. Or they say their utility is that they're a charity token. A charity token is nice. Don't get me wrong. I think we all should hold at least one charity token that we think is doing a good thing. It's for a good cause, and you can write it off in your taxes. Like, that's a good thing to do. But there are so many tokens that are like, oh, that's our utility. We're a charity. You have to have more than just a charity be your utility. You have to have something. Hold on, Maddie. I just have lost a lot of faith in crypto because of the scammers. We will never be taken seriously by institutions because of the nonsense like Luna and other shit coins. You're right. Like, we have taken a beating when it comes to our reputation, especially when it comes to the shit coins, the meme coins. But don't get me wrong. Like, cryptocurrency is the future. It's the future of money. It is. Back in the 70s, hardly anybody had credit cards. People were rocking their checkbooks, and if they couldn't afford to buy something, they just didn't buy it. By the 80s and the 90s, everybody had a credit card. I think the same is going to be true with cryptocurrency. I think it is going to be widely adopted. It might take a little bit for that to get going, but it definitely will. And when that happens, those bigger institutions, they have to take notice. Like, you have to evolve to keep up with what's going on in the world, to stay profitable in the here and now, right? When you think of, MetaMask is launching its own token. I think it's just going to be named Meta, is going to be the ticker. But Uniswap, who's Uniswap owned by? One of the huge banks, right? Who is it? I think JP Morgan owns Uniswap. That's a huge institution. So they might tell everybody right now that cryptocurrency, is not the way to go, because they want to keep as many people out of cryptocurrency for the time being, as long as they can, because they want them to continue to only believe in traditional investing, like at your bank, in the stock market. Like, they want to keep you in their sector. But there's going to come a time where they can't hold back anymore, right? Like, everyone's going to start getting into cryptocurrency. What I know, I say this all the time, but we're still very early. If you own cryptocurrency, you are very, very early to the game. The majority of people I know, let's say out of everybody I know, and I know a lot of people, maybe 3% of them are into cryptocurrency. Everybody else is either they don't believe in it or they're scared of it, right? But come a day where they're going to have to believe. They're totally going to have to believe, because things are changing. How many times have you seen somebody at a checkout counter now rocking a check? I haven't seen a checkbook, and I don't even know how long. At a store, I mean. People used to sit there and like write their checks out. That doesn't happen anymore. Things change. And so will our financial institutions. They've got to. Everything is constantly changing and evolving. It's just the way it is, Nothing is ever going to bring us back to the gold standard. Nothing. And by the way, what happens, because when I went down to spend time with my dad, he's a little bit of a conspiracy theorist, and he watches all of these funny YouTube, well, they're not funny to him, but they're YouTube videos about, the economy collapsing, and you have to have your gold and silver physically on hand to do bartering with, right? I don't know if any of that's going to happen. I do know there are cryptocurrencies where you can buy a cryptocurrency that's linked to gold or to silver. But how is that going to help you? Like, if everything crashes and falls, how are you going to get that gold? Like, that's going to be done. Just saying. Sherry, which checks? You're so funny. Bob Bobby Crypto Granny says, hold on. She's saying a bunch of things here. Rosie Rios said that it's for paper currency. Rosie Rios works for the Treasury. Maddie says, my dad's not wrong. Okay. Let me put it this way. I hope my dad is wrong, because my dad is like, if you don't have gold and silver on you, you're screwed, because the money is going to be absolutely nothing. It's going to have no value. So I hope that is wrong. I can't highlight your comment, Maddie, because it has a word in it. And there's been a lot of YouTubers that have had their channels canceled for talking about certain things. like the comment you just made, or they highlighted, can you believe this? They highlighted somebody's comment, and the person that they highlighted, their avatar was some kind of naked person on there. The YouTuber got in trouble for that. How is that fair? I really don't think that that's fair. I think if you highlight somebody's comment and that's their avatar, like that person should be held accountable for their own avatar. Why are they allowing that avatar to exist? If it bothers them so much, they shouldn't allow that channel to have that avatar. Get rid of it. It's just not cool. So that was my main point of the live stream today, is that, we went over the Saitama migration, how they kicked the can down the road yet again. Do I think that that migration is going to happen by end of day, June the 7th? No, I don't think it's going to happen then. I think it's going to listen, if they're doing migration themselves, there's over 300,000 contract addresses that they have to drop to. I don't know what they're thinking. If they think they're going to do it by themselves, no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. We went over Shibnobi migrating to, not migrating. They are launching over on BSC, and that is going to happen potentially on the 13th. We talked about Volt rebranding. Their website, their logo looks really good. We talked about the fact that Elon Goat Token, they were on Fox Business News. And that's going to be really great for Volt because they're participating in that monument that's going to be traveling around the country. All eyes are going to be on it. So that's going to be great news for Elon Goat Token and great news for Volt. I think we will see a little bit of a pump from that. We went over the Archie Nico token that if you buy 0.1 ETH worth of Archie Nico, you're going to get a free NFT. And we talked about Luna, of course, and how, if you're investing in Luna 2.0, you're really investing in your belief in Do Kwon, which I have no belief in Do Kwon. So no, I won't be investing in that. But if you wanted to buy a lottery ticket in Luna, I think your money is better spent with Luna Classic, because right now you can pick up 1 million Luna Classics for like $138, right? If you wanted to take that same $100 and invest it into Luna 2.0, you're only going to get 11 coins. That's it. And if Luna Classic makes its way back up to a penny, that same $100 would then be $10,000, right? Where, do you know how many times this would have to quadrillion X for that 2.0 investment to get to $10,000? That's not going to happen. Wipe it out of your head that it was ever a top 10 coin. That was only because it had the utility of the stable coin that is no longer there. Forget about that. It's not coming back. No, I don't want to talk about politics. Maddie can in the chat if he wants to, but I definitely don't want to, because it's too depressing and I don't want to get into it. I talked about a couple Degen plays, the Komainu, which let's see if any more holders went into Komainu, because, when last I checked, there was 51 holders. So let's see if there's any new people. I hit reboot here. This computer is so slow, but I do have like 10 tabs up, so that's probably my fault. Nope. Still 51 holders in Komainu, but today was the first day, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. That would be a nice little Degen play. Volt rebranding. I think we touched on everything. I think we did. Oh, and the other Degen play was going to be this ShibaDogePredator. This, like I said, that token was made by guys that were early investors into Shib. Okay, well, it's been an hour. So I think that's been long enough. I do appreciate you guys for dropping on by and for hanging in there, waiting for me to make a video. I really appreciate it. I'm going to try to be a little more consistent when it comes to making videos because, you know, I'm really faltering when it comes to the YouTube algorithm. I think I've only gotten a few subscribers over the past month, so that kind of stings. But if you want to participate in the pre-launch of Shibnobi, I am giving away a couple of whitelist spots. You know, Shinji's going to do that for me. If you want to participate, you must be subscribed to my channel. You have to follow me on Twitter, and you have to follow Shibnobi on Twitter as well. In a couple of days, I am going to send out a tweet as to the parameters of my giveaway, what you have to do. You know, I might have you retweet something. You don't know. But I will then choose the winners, you know, right in time for the pre-sale, which is going to be on the 6th. The pre-sale starts on the 6th, so you'll get one of the spots if you're interested in participating. Thank you so much for dropping by. Bob Bobby Crypto Granny, Maddie B, Sherry, Furry Ball User. I appreciate all of you guys for coming on by. And until next time, remember, try to only buy on the red candles. And please take care of yourself. And may God bless you and your family.